In order for your map readers to get the most out of your map, they'll need a good understanding of the scale that they're viewing, as well as a key to the symbology choices that you've made. We can tackle both of these needs by adding a scale bar and a legend to our layouts. First, I'm going to come up to the Layout tab on the ribbon and turn the guides back on. Then I'm going to make sure that in my Contents pane, the 2D map is selected, and I'm actually going to toggle off the visibility of the 3D map. And I'm just doing this so that the screen updates quicker. By selecting the 2D frame first, we'll ensure that the scale bar that we're about to add references the scale of this frame. The 3D map, since it's in a 3D perspective, can't have a scale bar associated with it anyway, since scale varies across the scene. To insert a scale bar, we'll come up to the Insert tab of the ribbon, and in the Map Surround section, we'll click on the downward pointing portion of the Scale Bar button. That'll pull out a gallery of different scale bars that we can choose from. We either have imperial units here at the top, or metric units at the bottom. I'm going to choose this one over here on the bottom right. It's called Double Alternating Scale Bar 3. When I click on it, it gets added to my layout view. You'll also notice a new entry over here in the Contents pane for the scale bar, and we have the same options to toggle its visibility or lock it. Now when you place a scale bar inside of ArcGIS Pro, it'll often be the case that you have lots of numbers after the decimal point like I've got right now. And resizing the scale bar by making it a little bit narrower or wider doesn't usually do a lot to resolve that issue. To fix this, we'll go up to the Design Contextual tab that appeared when we selected our scale bar. I've found that having the resize behavior set to anything but adjust width makes it really difficult to control the number of decimal places that occur. By setting this resize behavior to adjust width, we can set all of the other properties in these fields up above, and it'll make our scale bar a lot cleaner. I'm going to set the division value to just the unit of 1. Then we'll specify 4 divisions, but only 2 subdivisions. That'll make a bar that's 4 units wide with the first unit split in half. Now I can click and drag the scale bar and move it into position. I'm actually going to put it right on top of the map in this area right there. On the left side of the Design tab, we can set the units. Right now miles is fine. We can also specify the label position. I'm going to move it below center. We can also set if we want to see tick marks above or below the bar. And finally, we can specify where the numerical values will land, either above the bar, aligned to the top of the bar, centered on the bar, or aligned to the bottom of the bar. I'll go ahead and leave them above the bar. On the Format tab, we have some options for adjusting the font, size, and color, as well as its size and position on the screen. So I think that puts our scale bar in a good position. I'm going to leave all these default options here. And let's turn our attention and add in a new legend. I'll go ahead and click into any blank area on my layout to deselect the scale bar. And then back on the Insert tab of the ribbon, we'll come over and press the Legend button. That'll change my cursor into this crosshair, and when I come down, I can draw out a rectangle where I want my legend to appear. I'll go ahead and attach it to my guidelines that we drew previously. The legend will process our map view, and it'll display the symbol patches for each of the layers within the map. Now I don't want to see all of these in the legend, so I can go up to the Design tab, and come over here to the Layers section, and we can toggle some of these off. I don't need to see the symbol patch for places, runway, or taxiway. Let's go ahead and turn those off and then click off of that menu. The legend updates to remove those values, and now we can resize it and put it into position. I'm going to shrink it down to make it a little bit shorter, and that'll cause the legend patches to arrange into a single row instead of a single column. Then I'll just make this just a little bit wider. Finally, I'll drag it down until it snaps onto that bottom grid line. At this point, we have the scale bar and our legend in place. Let's go ahead and go over to the Layout tab and turn our guides back off so we get a good clean view of our page. And then I'll turn the 3D map back on. It's probably a good place to save my project, so I'll just press Ctrl S on the keyboard to save it. And we'll be all set for the next movie. Adding scale bars and legends makes your maps easier to interpret, and adding them to the layout takes just a few clicks.